Frankie De Jong news is heating up. Timo Werner has left the building. There's a lot about Fofana. Leicester's adamant that they don't want to sell. Ampadu possibly out on loan. Aubameyang, Depay. There's so much going on.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of news to go through in terms of Chelsea transfer news that's been transpiring, that's been cooking for the past 12 to 24 hours. We'd like to give you guys a wrap up at the end of each day, along with the live earlier in the morning, giving you a comprehensive scenario of what has been going on in the transfer news, especially Chelsea wise. Let's get straight into the act, ladies and gentlemen. First up, thank you, Timo Werner, for everything you've given us at Chelsea Football Club. Look, most times the attitude has been good. His work ethic has always been good, but I'm not going to sit here and deny the fact that there were times where he was a bit cheeky as well in social media. Well, when it came to interviews, not so much social media platform, but in terms of media in itself, some cheeky comments here and there in the interviews. And at the end of the day, look, it just didn't work out. And I'm not going to sit here and just simply praise. The fact of the matter is there are flaws in his game that has been exposed, I suppose, in the Premier League. Now he goes back to his natural habitat, and I hope he does well. And me following Germany in the international level since I was a little kid, I hope he does well, and I hope he does well for Germany. Hopefully he makes it to the World Cup. This is from Red Bull Leipzig. Our record goal scorer is back. Red Bull Leipzig have signed Timo Werner from Chelsea on a 4-year deal. Read all the info regarding the transfer. Chelsea Football Club has also it's not the page that I wanted, actually. Chelsea Football Club has also announced all of this. As you can see, some special memories together. There's a note from Timo Werner. Check it out if you haven't seen that. It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's everywhere. Thank you for the good memories, Timo Werner. Can't show that clip, I'll get done for copyright. Timo Werner has completed a permanent transfer to Red Bull Leipzig. So look, good luck, Timo Werner, and I hope you do well. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is from Rob Tanner, who is a reporter for The Athletic, specializing in Leicester news. He has put out this particular article not that long ago. Rodgers has told Fofana his best hope for breaking into the France World Cup is to stay and play regularly at Leicester City FC. City have no plans to sell him to Chelsea. They don't see how it would help their current situation and would only weaken the squad. No doubt it would weaken the squad. There is absolutely no doubt that it would weaken Leicester City, knowing that there is a long-term injury for Ricardo Pereira as well. But I think Chelsea are in a situation now, and I've made it very, very, evident, and I've made it very clear that the price tag for Wesley Fofana is insane. But knowing we've got this blockbuster match coming up against Spurs, I have to be honest, we need a player like Wesley Fofana in defense. We really do. One thing that we are very good at is, I suppose, defending. I know in recent times, at the end of last year, even that was a bit of an issue, but we can put our hand on our hearts and say that our attack is not up to the standard. It needs to get better. But one thing we can rely upon is our defense. One thing Spurs can rely upon is their attack. And it's not a coincidence that since the start of this year in 2022, I think Spurs have led in terms of most goals scored in this particular year so far with 51 goals or something like that, and City just behind them, Liverpool just behind them. So, their attack is potent, their attack is dangerous. And with this match coming up, I'm thinking definitely Cucurella has to start in a left wing back position. You got Koulibaly and LCB. Hopefully the injury is not a big issue. Silva in the middle. Hopefully he's ready to go. And it's that right side and right wing back, Reece James better wake up, because once he's woke, you best believe you're going to get a beast of a player. But it's the RCB position. Chalobah is a good player, and I would potentially start him ahead of Azpilicueta for this particular match, but he still has those odd mistakes. Aspie, we know, yeah, he's a very good player. He's a leader, captain, legend, but those legs are gone. That the engine is gone. So from that perspective, there is a distinct weakness on that right side, and someone like Wesley Fofana would fit in immediately as a RCB. Look, he's already played a game for Leicester, so if we can manage to get this done very soon, perhaps maybe he can feature for us on Sunday against Spurs. So from that perspective, I'm starting to think we need a player like Wesley Fofana, but it's not going to be easy for us. It is not going to be one bit easy because Leicester will be weakened massively. And are they going to have enough time to replace a player of his ilk? Probably not. They're going to get a lot of money and they can perhaps take their time, scout. Their scouting network is very good. And eventually enough, they'll do the damage with that level of money. But yeah, they would have some sort of ambition as well in this particular season, and they can't just be, letting go of some of their superstars. I believe James Maddison is looking at a contract extension. I believe Vardy is looking for a contract extension as well. Tielemans, don't know what's going on. Maybe Arsenal, maybe even Liverpool. But maybe they'll just be forced to sell Fofana if we put on that third offer that we're preparing, somewhere around 80 million or so pounds. So let's see how this transpires. I think there's a definite need to get a player like Wesley Fofana, but we'll see what Leicester does. I think if we offer them 80 million, that's a lot of money to ignore. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much Graham Bailey's news we can take seriously, but nonetheless, he talks about Chelsea transfers, and he's quite highly regarded in the fan base. Chelsea are considering making a move for Crystal Palace forward Wilfried Zaha. Palace are one of the clubs interested in Hudson-Odoi, who could be part of the deal. And following this, some Chelsea interest in Wilfried Zaha, and further to this, I'm told that a fee, if we did try and sign him, would be around 25 million. This is from Simon Phillips. So look, we've covered this in the last video, not the live, the one before that. With Timo Werner now gone, Lukaku had already left, possibly Callum Hudson-Odoi as rumoured here, Ziyech as well. We have to bring in attackers. There is no two ways about it. We have to bring in attackers. We're going to talk about Frankie De Jong, which is the biggest news. We will talk about that. I'm just building you guys up for that. But Zaha, if I can't see who else we're linked with in terms of from an attacking standpoint. Every other player that we wanted in terms of Rafinha, Dembele, whoever else are all taken. They've already gone. So Zaha for me is a mature player who's got wealth of experience in the Premier League. He's a decent player, man, in terms of work rate. As I said, have a look at his stats in terms of pressures, in terms of pressing. It's quite high up there in the Premier League. So, look, Hudson-Odoi going to Crystal Palace, us getting Zaha for 25 million, I think that's a deal. How much do you think we're going to get for Hudson-Odoi? At minimum, you'd think 15 to 20 million as well. So, it could potentially balance things out, net things out. And if Hudson-Odoi can get regular game time at Crystal Palace, I'm all up for it. Whether it's a loan, whether it's a full-time permanent transfer, we'll see. I would still like it to be a loan with Hudson-Odoi, give him that opportunity to play week in, week out, and then make a final assessment about him next season. I know there'll be only, I think, 1 year left in his contract. But look, either way, Hudson-Odoi probably needs a change of scenery. But look, Wilfried Zaha, at least he will add something, man. He can take his players, man on. He can shoot from range as well. As I said, the work rate is there. He will press. Sterling needs all the help. He can't do all on his own. Let me know how you feel about Zaha, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now we will slowly start talking about Frankie De Jong, but just quickly in regards to Aubameyang as well, an intermediary who was involved in Aubameyang to Barca is currently in Barca offices because Chelsea is pushing to sign him. This is from Gerard Romero. When Gerard Romero talks, you better take things seriously. We were under the understanding that it's either going to be Oba or Depay leaving Barcelona, not both. We'll talk about Depay. There's serious talks with Juventus, and I think he's moving there. What we're waiting for, I don't know, but maybe we're waiting for Aubameyang. But I thought it was only going to be one or the other, not both leaving. So we'll see. But if Gerard Romero is talking about this, there could be some truth behind it. Ethan Ampadu will be leaving Chelsea on loan. It was thought that he would be the backup for Thiago Silva, but that no longer seems the case for now. This is from The Athletic, and this is off the back of what was told to us a few days ago as well, that there are interests from Italy. I don't know what else this player could have done, honestly. I would have loved him to make it at Chelsea Football Club. I thought as a DM, there was a proper shout for him, as also as a center back in a back three. There was definitely a shout for him, but seems like Thomas Tuchel doesn't fancy him. And I don't understand, another loan. What is that going to achieve for Ethan Ampadu? Has he not already proven enough? What more can he do on a loan? Look, this is why I've said I don't want any more loans for Ethan Ampadu. Either he becomes a Chelsea player or we sell him, because I don't get it. What else is he going to prove in another loan? So let me know how you feel about this one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Frankie De Jong. We need to spend quality time in regards to this player. I recently tweeted out my last stream, if you guys have missed it, talks about how Barcelona are willing to put criminal charges on Frankie De Jong because of his contract that he signed, the extension that he signed during the pandemic in the previous regime under Bartomeu. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway. The current regime under Laporta is saying that that contract is null and void, and everyone that was involved will be charged for criminal activities, which is mad. Here he is, who's not getting paid for his wages that were deferred during that time frame, close to about 17 million. He is now the victim, apparently. Sorry, he is now the person who's created the issue, not the victim, and it's Barcelona who's the victim. It's mad. Ever since the Barca US tour, he has known that his exit is imminent. Frankie de Jong continues to think that the situation with Chelsea is very close. Once again, Gerard Romero. This is why I'm talking about it. Gerard Romero, when it comes to Barcelona news, he's T1. In fact, he's even bigger than Fabrizio. In the meeting, Laporta got heated and asked Frankie to lower his wages, but to no avail. He doesn't want to lower his wages. He wants to ensure he gets paid completely from Barcelona. In the next few days, Frankie de Jong to Chelsea will heat up more. This is incredible. This is incredible. When Gerard Romero talks about it, I love it. Manchester United have all but ended their pursuit for Frankie de Jong, as he indicates he does not want to join them. So, look, let's talk a little bit about Frankie de Jong. First of all, I think a player like him is 100% needed at Chelsea Football Club. I get the feeling we may play with a 3 in the midfield, with potentially 2 up front, and then obviously the wing back. So the third person in midfield is going to be the playmaker, and I think Frankie de Jong could be that number 10 for us. And not just that, he could potentially be a 6 every now and then. If Jorginho needs a bit of break, he can play that. He used to play as a CB at times at Ajax. Like, this guy is, it's a myth that he can't defend. Like, people think he's some sort of a bum. People think that just because, he doesn't have that, brute physicality, he doesn't get into crunching. The guy is smart. He's cunning when it comes to defending. He knows exactly what needs to do. Interceptions. He reads the play well. He's strong. It's not like he's some sort of a twig that he'll fall over. He's got good pace. He's got excellent vision. He's got great passing ability. He can shoot from range. His one-touch passing is sensational. So anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10, he can play all of those. He has something that most of our defenders, for example, he's got everything that Jorginho can do. He's got everything that Frankie de Jong, that Kovacic can do. The added factor on top of those two players, he's got the shooting technique, which none of those two brothers have. The only thing he probably lacks is obviously Kante's defensive work rate, but in terms of ball playing ability, he's far superior than Kante. So he's a proper midfielder, and I don't understand what he's doing at Barcelona at the moment. He's getting bullied, he's getting harassed, he's getting embarrassed. His treatment is disgusting at the moment by Barcelona, who are willing to take him to court for money he's owed from them. And apparently, Chelsea Football Club Todd Bowley has contacted him. This is as per The Athletic, the recent article from David Ornstein. And we are willing to pay those deferred wages. It's mad. We are willing to do that. We're willing to even match the offer that Manchester United have with Barcelona. And I don't know what type of personal terms, but I'm sure that shouldn't be a problem either with us. We should have the money to offer Frankie De Jong. I don't know why Frankie De Jong is waiting around. I think he deserves better. He needs to come to Chelsea Football Club and do your best here, man. We're building a team that will be fantastic for you. That will be challenging for honours as well. There's no doubt about it. No one's saying, we're going to go out there and win everything, but we will be challenging as well. So Chelsea Football Club, it's the creme de la creme when it comes to London, when it comes to Premier League as well. So I don't understand why. Like the fact that the news about Man United has stopped their pursuit. You were never in the race. How's Frankie De Jong going to drop his standards to go to Europa? And after what you've done against Brighton, you think he's going to be impressed with that? Your club is in a mess, Man United. Now you're going for, I don't know whether, I think even Arnautovic, Torino, I think he plays for, or Bologna. He plays for Bologna. I think they've even rejected that Arnautovic is not going anywhere. And now you're going for Adrian Rabiot. You can understand why Frankie De Jong doesn't want anything to do with this. So look, Frankie De Jong, please, my man, come to Chelsea Football Club and absolutely ball out. You're gonna be treated well here and be the superstar that you want to be here at Chelsea Football Club. Next up, Memphis Depay deal. Tottenham are not interested. Been told there are no talks as things stand. Juventus are the favourites to sign Depay. 2-year deal now discussed with Memphis. Juve want him since July. But first step has to be contract termination with Barca. Look, contract termination with Barca apparently is around the corner. Gerard Romero, once again, has been talking about this. Look, I don't understand why we're not in for this player in an advanced situation. Looks like Juve is going to get him. Like, the contract is there. Juve is a top club in Europe as well. And Memphis Depay only wants to go to top clubs. Once again, we're falling behind. We're trying to chase Aubameyang, which is fine. But if Barcelona only lets go of one or the other and not both, then we're in the mud. If it looks like Memphis Depay, his contract will be terminated. So I don't understand how we're going to get our hands on Aubameyang. But Gerard Romero gives us hope. Chelsea are pushing to sign Aubameyang while Tottenham and Juventus are in the race to sign Memphis Depay. This is from Gerard Romero. And there was talks that I want to go to PYS that apparently for Aubameyang, the agents are there at the moment. Let me see if I can get a hold of that news. Yeah, here we go. An intermediary who was involved in Aubameyang to Barca is currently in Barca offices because Chelsea is pushing to sign him. This is once again Gerard Romero. So look, we need someone up front. There's no doubt about that. With all these players that have left and with all the players that will still leave, as I keep saying, Sterling cannot do this all on his own. We need to give him some help. And I'm worried. If it's just Havertz and Broha, that's not how I want to go. That's not how I want to continue on in the Premier League. If we can get Aubameyang, fantastic. If not, looks like Memphis Depay is leaving. This talks about Zaha. Frankie de Jong is someone who, for me, is now an absolute no-brainer. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about all the latest that's going on. Who would you take? Do you think there is a need to bring some attackers? I feel like there is 100% need. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.